My name is Layla Lorenzen, and I'll be presenting on the job of a criminal investigator. So some of the requirements of this job, the requirements vary based on the department and the location of your working, but all of them require at least a high school diploma. College is definitely encouraged, and through college you can sometimes get internships and things like that. Usually you must work at least a few years as a patrol officer. It is preferred if you have education, specifically like a bachelor's in something like science, forensic science, or criminal justice. As far as job training goes, there are lots of programs that investigators can go through that will give a majority of their job training. They also may go through the police academy in order to become a police officer beforehand. This again all varies on the area or department you'd be working for. Some of the things training include are things like self-defense, subduing a suspect, human relations, patrol procedures, and other things. The job duties for an investigator kind of include things like processing crime scenes, finding and interviewing suspects, collecting and preparing evidence, and then lab work like testing DNA and different samples you might collect from a crime scene. So the salary also varies depending on the area or experience you're working in. In Idaho, the average pay for an investigator is $66,000, and the average range is $34,000 to $79,000. And the job typically comes with lots of benefits like health insurance, dental insurance, stuff like that. And as far as work conditions and safety concerns, they do spend a lot of time working at like crime scenes, but they also spend a lot of time working in labs or working in the office doing like paperwork and stuff. One safety concern is like what the investigators are exposed to at different crime scenes, like if there are any chemicals or hazardous materials. Another safety concern is the mental health of investigators. They can develop PTSD or other mental illnesses from seeing things that can be really graphic or grisly. So some of the expectations of a criminal investigator are things just like maintaining professionalism, remaining calm and collected in stressful situations, being persistent and striving to find answers, and using honesty and integrity when working different cases. The effect on the justice system is they're the ones that collect evidence to present to a judge or jury if the case goes to trial. They oversee finding all the answers in order to charge someone, and they're essentially the first step of creating the case. So they're kind of like gathering the evidence to see if they even have a case to work with. They're, just starting things off. As far as some extra information goes, even though on TV it shows investigators on call all the time, they can sometimes work pretty consistent hours and be on call like in a rotation. The woman I worked for, or the woman I interviewed, she works for the Seattle Police Department, and she said typically she would work like an 8 to 5 shift and then be on call for like a week at a time. And when she was on call, she would be paid $5 an hour, which I thought was really cool. But it's not like the constant, being on call. And she said this program kind of got stopped because of budget cuts. And then the other thing I noticed during the research is it seems somewhat difficult to obtain a job as an investigator. You either need patrol experience or a college degree. And even with a degree, it's not guaranteed like an investigator job without the patrol experience. I think they really want you to have like firsthand experience working as an officer before you go into like investigative work. But it does seem like criminal investigator is a pretty sought after job. So I think it's kind of a competitive job field right now. And part of this is probably because of like, TV shows like CSI and just all of that kind of stuff. So there's my works cited.